Okay, so how did this day go? Well, it did a bounce back. It didn't continue. It pulled back all the way up to the 4,000, which I was ready for, but along the way, I had to take losses on the 750 and the 825, which sucked. So this win is basically just kind of making up for these two losses with a tiny bit of profit. Overall, I know that this week was a really bad week. It was a 4 day week, so I'm kind of consider thinking of it as a like a basketball game or a football game or something where each day was a quarter. And the summary of the week is that it's the first quarter was so bad with so many losses that even though the next three quarters were kind of like a break even, it couldn't make up for the big deficit built up on the first quarter, like the first day. That's tough to overcome. Tough pill to swallow. I'm not going to be trading tomorrow. Despite the fact that like I want to, part of me wants to make up for losses and stuff like that. But that's just revenge trading mindset, and I am gonna be completely occupied with something else, so I'm not gonna be on this platform at all. I'm gonna just keep it closed. I don't want to even look at it. I don't want to think about it. And I probably won't even think about it. But it's nice to have like the major level work out nicely. Um, I wasn't really that confident about this 750 and 825 anyway. I think it was a little bit of a greedy play. The Now that I think about it, because this is the thing. What usually happens with a big news move is that you make a big move up or down, and then you fade up or down, whichever it retraces almost to the origin of the move. In this case, it retraced only to the major level and then resumed to make a new low, even lower than what the news had made. So this V shape formation is actually nothing new. And if that's it's one of those things I should have spotted. Maybe I was just not seeing that because I was just caught up missing out on this trade right here having stopped me out. That's possible. I could, it was. I think every trader feels that, like, oh man, why didn't I see that? In the moment, kind of situation. And that was definitely a moment like that for me. The other thing that I added was the RSI on the 30 minute, the hourly or the 30 minute. I wouldn't go below 30 minute on this though. Is the oversold overbought levels on the RSI? I think what's common on the internet is to have 30 and 70 as oversold and overbought respectively, but really what I think works way better is everything except the 30 and 70. So I use 40 and 60 to measure momentum, and for reversals I look at more the 80 and the 20. Especially it all depends on the asset in question and the time frame. But on the index, for this particular index for the Dow, the 30 minute is about as low as I would ever go, especially if we're stuck in a range. Now, if we're not stuck in a range and we're trending, I might look at it more in the I might look at a higher time frame. But so everything depends. That's the thing with trading, is it's more of an art than a science. Um, Actually, it's kind of a hybridization of an art and a science with probability and all this stuff kind of combined together. And so you just kind of have to feel, well, the climate that you're in, the season that you're in. And right now, we're in a range bound season right now. It's very just look at it's just ugly. There's no trend here really. All any semblance of a trend has been a fake out. So, and I've been getting faked out quite a bit. I've been my account balance has been chopping around all over the place. But one thing I'm adding here is the reversal. So when the hits 20, I'm looking for, like, it kind of overshadows everything else, and that a sharp bullish move is coming from the respective to quarters. So when it hits this, there's at least one or two major quarters that you can that you can take. And in this case, this was one, but so this is definitely counter trend, right? It definitely goes against um, the idea that if my momentum is below 40, that I should be looking for sells, which I was. However, the exception to that is that, well, if it bounces below, if the RSI finds itself below 20, it's going to find a lot of buying orders. And that's been the case quite a bit. Now, this one, there was a bounce even though it didn't hit 20. That happens too. But where else did it hit cross the 20 line? This one, it hit, it made a low. It continued to go lower. However, it was still within the range of the quarter strategy. So if you saw that and you placed an order front running it on the 575, that would have been fine. It would have been stopped out, but it would have been in alignment with the rules, and then the 500 would have worked beautifully. And not to mention that there's just an obvious bullish divergence here. You have the small one marked over there, but you have the bigger one from this low to this low. Lower lows on the price, higher lows on the indicator. Where else did it cross? This right here, did it cross? Yeah, right here it crossed the 19. It was at a 19.26, and you can see that was the origin of that's very unlikely that I would have caught that because it was just too fast. Unless I had an order. I would not. The only way I would have caught this is if I had the order at the 250 waiting, which is often what I'm supposed to be doing. But if you're like, if I didn't catch it and I just got the alert that it was whatever, then that it just hit the RSI at 20 for a reversal, then I wouldn't have hit the 250. My best bet would have been to maybe chase it after at the 500 and hope for 750, which I would have gotten, but that would have been scary to do, to chase it after a quarter has already been completed. Where else? Down here, I remember this. This is this is January. It stayed under 20 for a long time. It was just very, very scary. I guess this was like, you can continue to look for sells here, but because there's nothing, the candle formation there's no indication of it really trying to go up. But let's say you did do that. Let's say you try to, I mean, this is just a bloodbath. This is just too much. But let's say you try to take it at the 250, you would have been destroyed. You could have tried the 3,000, the 3,000 even, and the backup order with that. That's where it would have worked, and it would have chopped around for a long time, several days, in fact, a couple of days before it actually completed the quarter. But that's where you have a double bottom formation here, and then you have bullish divergence over on the indicator. So this is primed for a reversal move back up, even maybe more than just a quarter or two. And maybe this was something that you could be, because you have so much runway built by this downturn, that you could aim for almost 1,000 or at least 500, because you have such a big runway to work with. Anyway, so that's just something that I'm adding in, and that was just like kind of like me reminding myself that I should do that. The week is over for me. This has a bullish divergence as of right now, so if this gets picked up, this will be my last order of the day. Should I put in an order for the 575? Sure, why not? I really want the 500 to bounce. 575 is a little too aggressive. If anything, I already had the 500. I'll do a cradle trade on the backside and hit the backup order. and that's it. Okay, so now I'm literally gonna close my trading app for the week, and I will be back. I don't know if I'm gonna trade on Monday because it's gonna be a slow day. It might not be worth it. So definitely Tuesday though. So it's like almost a whole half a week off until